Welcome back to another tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be talking about velocity and a few things you can do with velocity and show you some uses for velocity as you can see over here. So as you can see, I spawned a few chips that we are going to need. You're going to notice a few are missing the angular velocity chips, which if I type in velocity Angular velocity, I honestly just use the regular velocity chips for objects. But if you want to use this chip for an object, you can use it, but I haven't really messed with it too much. Because, like I said, it's just easier to use this chip and it gets about the same thing done. So as you can see, what I've done here is I've already connected local player to most of these. With the left hand velocity and the right hand velocity. Some chips, they already, you can just change them to local player so it affects everybody. So that's why they're not connected here. Some chips don't have local player, so you need to have a local player chip. But anyway, so I am going to go ahead and show you the velocity values because it will be kind of hard to show you the velocity while also pointing at this because velocity is you moving around more. It's like velocity is kind of like speed, what we see on this chip. I mean, it's kind of same thing and not really the same. But anyway, if we connect the get velocity to the toString and connect it to this subtitle, which I have running for 1 second with update 30 hertz a second, it's going to constantly show the velocity of, I don't exactly know what the get velocity chip gets. It may be the player's head or something. But as you see, if I fall down, the Y value goes up, and if I go up, the Y value goes down. It will be the same if you went left. As you can see, it went to -2. Now it's going to 2. And you can see with the other values, so it's basically just how fast you're going. And you can use this for a bunch of different things, like maybe if the person reaches a certain speed, they go faster, or maybe if they reach a certain speed, you want to slow them down. But besides of using the get velocity chip, which I don't really use, I rather use the combatant get velocity chip because as you can see, once I connect the velocity, it stays at a perfect 0 on each of them unless I start to make small movements. Like if I move this way, you can see that the X and Z value, I think it is moving up and down, the negatives and stuff. Then you have the Y value, which I use this. So I'll connect the speed to this, which it will show you how fast somebody is going. And this is what I mainly use with my stamina system. So if you go past 4.5 or a certain speed, then your stamina will start to go down. And if it's not, it will go up. If you want to see that video, type in Rec Room Stamina System or you can search it up. It's not really, I haven't made it that long ago. Now we're going to see the player left hand velocity, and all these basically just show you the velocity of everything. The left hand, the X, Y, Z, the same with the right hand. Now with the velocity set though, because the velocity set is different, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this. Velocity set, it's going to take a target, which is a player or rec room object. I'm just going to take the velocity set and add this. And let's go ahead and get a direction because we need a vector. And I'm just going to use the get up vector because I can easily show you that. Get up vector, I forgot to type in up. So go ahead and spawn in the get up vector, or get your own position if you want. And if I go ahead and connect this to the local player and connect this to the velocity set, now if I'm going to turn this down lower so I don't just go floating off into space. Then I'm going to update this 30 hertz a second, and as you can see, you start to float up. Yeah, you start to float up, and if you start flying, you'll stop. And you can also select, you can also set this with an object too. So let's go ahead and just spawn in a cube. And we are going to make the cube physical. We're going to want to rename the tag of the cube to whatever you want. And once you do that, we want to get a rec room, get first the tag chip. All you need to do is type in rec and it should be the third one. We are going to put this over here. After we do that, we are going to put the tag of our object here, put it here, and now the object is going to start floating up. And this is how you can get some pretty nice things. As you can see, it doesn't exactly like move around too much, but you can see that it starts floating up and everything. That's if you set the velocity though. If you just add the velocity instead of setting the velocity, it is just going to add the velocity every time you click on the button or anything. Because I got it running at 30 hertz a second, it's going to constantly add the velocity. But if I add this on a test event, besides the setting it and constantly making me go up, it's just going to add it one time, and that's it. And the reason I was using a subtitle chip is because the subtitle chip is not synced unless you want it to be synced. Now, if I try to show you on a text gadget, the netcode will go up and it will stop working. As an example, I'll just show you. If I change this to update 30 hertz a second, and let me connect this here with the value of the value of this velocity. As you can see, it eventually stops because the netcode goes up too much. But if you want to show it on text, if you go ahead and unsync the text because it starts out synced, then it should start working for each player individually. Because with the netcode, it's showing everybody in the room, and that really makes the netcode run out. And there you go. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.